Well, at one point, Daniel, you were at Cassie's house, and Diddy and Cassie suggested that they include another man in the freak off.
Yep.
And in walks the guy next to you.
That guy.
Clayton Howard.
That guy.
Clayton Howard. Now, Clayton, how is this whole situation sold to you?
Directly. Cassie calls me up. I had been sleeping with her for years at that point. So whenever she called me, it was like money phone, you know? So she calls me up like, hey, what's going on? You around? Of course I'm around. She says, listen, we're going to do it a little different this time. You mind if, there's another person there? Completely blew me away. I'm like, what? I didn't even know there was other people involved. So she basically puts it to me simple. She says, that it's me and another guy. Her husband doesn't want her to see two guys, so he basically wants the two of us to compete to see who's going to be the guy. So I took that as, you got to fuck for your spot. It didn't take me long to think about it. I said, you know what? I got to go do it. So off I was to the apartment.
Okay, so when you show up, they were already going at it?
Yeah, they're going at it, yeah. I walk into the room and, oh God, it was, I can just say it now because I'm already being clowned for it. It was heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking, man.
Yo, I'm being clowned for it too, homie. I'm just gonna let you know.
But you know what it is, Vlad, as a man, if you're put in a situation where you think you're making love to this beautiful woman for years, to walk in and see her with another guy's instrument in her face, like rubbing herself and slapping herself on the cheek, all types of thoughts goes through your mind. You remember kissing her on the cheek every time you saw her. You remember all of this. So I just fell back in the chair and I got, Puff offered me a drink. He said, yo, man, you want a drink? I said, oh yeah. And I mean, and I just took the drink. I started drinking and like, wow, what's going on, Clay? So I kind of fell into that for like 30 minutes until Puff came at me directly and said, yo, man, you all right? What you gonna do? Made a quick decision. I turned the hat to the back and said, you know what? Let's go in. Boom, I go in.
Now, in this particular freak off, everyone was using condoms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, this was something that you guys requested?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even think we had to say anything. I just pulled out a condom. I didn't know who he was, so I didn't know. I don't even think, to tell you the truth, I don't think at this point I had unprotected sex with her. I think it was after this that the unprotected sex began. So I just naturally pulled out a condom.
Okay, so then you guys start going at it, and you guys are double teaming her, essentially.
Yes, triple teaming her, because Diddy was jumping in too.
Okay, triple teaming her.
Yeah.
Was she actually servicing all three of you at one point?
All three of us, bro. Like
So-
me.
Not at once. Two at a time.
No, she was doing fellatio like two at a time. Not three at a time. You're right. She did two at a
Talking
time.
about, fam. I'm
It
like,
wasn't
yo,
three.
that never came nowhere near me,
No,
bro.
I think she did once. I think at one point, and I can't remember. I could be foggy.
If
I
she
think
did,
at one
it
point,
was his dick and Diddy's dick in the mouth in the same. I ain't had nothing to do
no,
with none of that.
wait,
I'm
wait.
just saying, bro.
You saying you had a sword fight with Diddy? Is that what you're
that's
saying
not
right
what
now?
I'm saying, man. Can I finish?
I'm just saying, bro.
What I'm saying is
It
that
wasn't me.
when I was sitting back on the chair before I got called in, she was servicing him, and I remember Diddy walking over there. Now, if she serviced him at the same time, I don't know, but I remember the traumatic visual effect of seeing both of these men naked with penises in their face. That was the most heartbreaking part of it, because I just was like, yo, you know something? This is just wow. It was crazy. It was.
So penises is plural. I'm going to be factual and state it once again. That man's penis ain't never been nowhere near mine. And so if it was two penises in her face, it was not at the same time.
What I mean by face is you guys were both standing in front of.
I'm just saying, bro.
I don't mean you were
Have
sword
you
fighting.
realized how mean the internet is yet, bro? Now we finna be factual, bro.
Okay, so to clean this up for the internet, they were not sword fighting. They were
Thank
a
you.
comfortable distance apart, maybe 12 to 24 inches, but she was right
Inches?
there, front and center, like 1, 2, like it was insane. She was totally into it though, dude. That's what made it so heart-wrenching, is I could see how much she enjoyed it.
Well, what would happen when Diddy would actually get his turn to have intercourse with her?
I would just kind of stand there and zone out. It's not really much to watch. She's kind of waiting for one of us to go, really. Like, that's what the truth. Like, she would let him go and be watching us the whole time while he was going.
Okay, but at what point, you and Diddy had a problem?
Oh, yeah.
What happens?
I think I might have been. I hate saying, you know what, we could just say, I think I might have been doggy style. I'm behind her, Diddy's in front of me. Now it's dark. I wear glasses. I can't see. It's a bunch of stuff in there. We put using baby oil. Some of the baby oil got in my damn eye, so I can't see. So I believe he thought I was staring at him just because I was looking in his direction. But the truth is, in situations like this, Vlad, you're not looking at the next man if you heterosexual. You trying to 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, and you staying in the place you in. Not paying attention to this guy. So for whatever reason, he thought I was staring at him. And he comes out and says, motherfucker, if you look at me again, and like, I can't remember exactly because I got so angry, but I remember after he was done, I was like, niggas, you fucking stupid. I ain't looking at you. So immediately I got incredibly aggressive. And I guess Cassie never saw me like that. So if there was a real life thing such as like teleporting from Dragon Ball Z, at that moment she did it. She was like from here, all the way out of the way of the two of us.
I just said
so I think he kind of like sized me up to see if he had it, and he instantly realized he didn't. So he was like, yo, man, listen, you know, it's good vibes in here. You know, it's cool, you know? And I'm like, yo, I ain't looking at you. What the hell I got to be looking at you and her? You bugging the fuck out. And after that, he kind of cooled down. He said, all right, we took a break. He went in the room. And when he went in the room, Daniel was like, yo, you know who the fuck that is? You out your damn mind?
So you didn't know who Diddy was at that point?
Didn't know who he was until after this encounter when I met up with him. And he was like, yo, you know who that is?
Right, because Diddy was wearing a mask, like a bandana.
He wore a mask, yeah. He wore a t-shirt, like a bandana t-shirt.
Yeah.
I think it was actually like a black t-shirt he used to just tie around his face and a baseball cap. But he kept it so low you could only see like the silhouette of his eyes, which are incredibly dark. So it could be any black guy. How the hell do I know who it is? He barely ever spoke. Like I said, he couldn't stand me when I first met him because I used to slut Cassie out so bad and I was so arrogant about it. He didn't like me. He didn't want to talk to me. He gave me like 1-2 word answers. So this went on for a while. I didn't even know who he was until this situation happened. He started screaming at me, yo, you know who that is? And he didn't even tell me. I don't think you told me in the freak off. I think you told me out of it when I met him.
I told you in. And I remember because we was eating, we was sitting down. I was like, yo, bro, like, you got to calm down, dog. Like, you know who the hell you was, like, just getting into it with? And you was like, I don't give a fuck who. I was like, nah, bro, you give a fuck, bro. I was like, you care, bro, because, like I said, man, like, you grew up in the hood, man. I'm from Harlem, bro. Like, you know, dude's reputation precedes him, man. So we know what he's known for outside of entertainment, the other shit he's known for, you know, so.
It's not physicality either. Like, I heard one interview with this guy, I think it was like one of the white escorts, Sean, where he said, you know, I would have grabbed Diddy and did this and did that. Dude, no, you wouldn't have. It wasn't about physicality. You knew that this guy's aura radiated such power, you knew that if you touched this guy, there was a problem. Because it actually happened with me a couple of times. He and I was gonna fight, and he would just like flex on me, Vlad, like, boom, go ahead, touch me. I ain't stupid. I've been through some things. And any guy who's that confident to sit in front of a guy twice his size and sit the hell down like that, something's up. So Diddy, I think the way to explain it is Diddy exudes power well, very well. And you can tell. So no, I don't think any escort would have touched him if Cassie and them got into like a dispute. You know, you'll break it up. You'll try to talk him out of it. But as far as going to attack him and think you're going to beat him up, you're going to be wiser than to touch this guy. You know
that's
better.
Interesting, too, bro. Like, you think about this for a second. You got guys that are monsters. Like we were big, bro. We were big. What would make a guy way smaller than you, think that it's okay for him to put his hands on a woman in front of you? It's probably the fact that he knows that he got something for you if you think you're about to get out of pocket. And so as the bigger guy, it bugs you out. It's psychological. You sitting there like, yo, does this guy not see me? It's almost like a little tiny dude that comes into a bar, gets a little drunk and tries fighting you or something. You like, you see what I look like?
Although I've had multiple interviews with his head of security, right? And he would always say that when it was time for these freak-offs, he would give them the weekend off. Because he wouldn't want his security seeing what was happening. And at times, that he would go, you know, down the elevator and like this, you know, like a Rico Suave type dude that was obviously some sort of male exotic dancer escort would get on the elevator with him. He'd go back up just to see what room he would go into. You'd see he was going into Diddy's room and be like, oh, okay. Then he would leave. But a lot of times he wouldn't want his security to know about this stuff. So it was probably just Diddy trying to bluff y'all.
I realize
But
that now.
here's the question, though. Here's the question. And this was always my question. Are his goons and his security the same thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. See,
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay.
I put that together
Absolutely.
too. I put that together too, Vlad. After the fact, like now, I said, you know something? He really was alone that whole time.
He really was alone.
He was alone.
Yeah.
He was alone
because
that
he
whole
didn't
time.
want people to see this.
Yeah.
He didn't want people to know about this.
Well,
it actually makes sense.
In the spirit of being intelligent,
You know, it's an educated guess. I
Yeah.
get it. No one's saying you're
Smart
stupid
to
for
move the
assuming
way.
that. Yeah, no, it's a good assumption. But the reality was, it was just him.
yeah, that's interesting.
Well, this whole thing, Clayton, was billed to you as a competition. Who won this competition?
I won. I did. I won.
But what did you win?
I won years of lies. You know, to tell you the truth, I won years of lies. They told me he was fired. I won. This is when they started tricking off on me. Vlad,
told me
flying
he
me to
was
Miami, LA.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
Oh,
then-
so the whole thing was just fake.
It was fake. Like once we reconnected and we started talking, he's like, yo, I kept seeing him for like 2 years after that. I'm like, word? He's like, yeah. So they basically lied to me, started flying me around the country to Miami because they didn't fly me anywhere until after this competition. Once this happened, I think like maybe a month later, she came back to New York. I smashed her out again. She was like, yo, would you ever go to Florida or LA if I call you there? And I'm like, yeah, for you anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm not thinking she's serious. Maybe 3 weeks later, she calls me like, hey, I'm in Miami. You want to come? I think it was December. It's freezing in New York. Absolutely. You're paying for the ticket? Yeah. What's your last name? Bang, bang, bang. I give it to her. She books a JetBlue flight to Miami.
There you have it.
No, it wasn't first class.
No, it was definitely coach.
It was
definitely
Coach.
coach.